Mhm. Okay, here you go. So dogs, pigs, and pearls. So look at the pig and then the dog. Verse 6, Matthew 7:6 says, do not give dogs what is sacred. Do not throw your pearls to pigs. If you do, they may trample them under you to pieces. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, this is a discussion between the sacred and the secular divide. Still with Scott McKnight, the animals chosen by Jesus were among the most despised, well, of course, in Israel. Thus, to speak of other humans in such derogatory terms reveals the utter seriousness of Jesus. Dogs and pigs have no sense of value, so dogs will rip apart a precious item, and pigs will trample on items of immense worth. Jesus is labeling those who despise the kingdom. So they are a referent, no? Pag Dale Allison, no, the Didache found in 7:6 a rule prohibiting giving communion to the unbaptized. Okay, so if you are familiar with this doctrine or this practice, no, the source is the Didache. No, this is supported by Tertullian, Jerome, and many others. And John of Damascus took Matthew 7:6 to prohibit the giving of communion to heretics or even yung mga ano um Christians who are under discipline, no? I remember there was one time it was medyo no difficult to see or um the person under discipline is sitting in the no first row, and then that person is not allowed to partake in the Lord's table. So again, that's really up to you. How do you perceive, no? The Orthodox faith, 413, the equation of dog and pig with heretic in 2 Peter 2:22. So, in understanding the sacred and secular, McKnight gives these three suggestions. First, the wall that separates Gentiles from Jews was broken down by the gospel about Jesus Christ. And we all now have direct access to God. Second, the Reformation teaching on the priesthood of all believers, alongside Luther's brilliant teaching that everyone's job is a vocation, paved the way for a modern day diminution of the sacredness of a pastoral calling versus a secular calling. And then third, Thomas Paine's Western world's embracing of the rights of man have been converted by some into entitlement for all into the realms of what was previously sacred. There is a splendid history on what sacred means. It begins with the Jewishness of what Jesus said, do not give dogs what is sacred, had an original connection to sacrificial meat or to leaven. Thus, Leviticus 22:10 reads, no one outside a priest's family may eat the sacred offering. The later rabbi said something quite like this statement by Jesus, for they do not redeem holy things to feed them to the dogs. Midrash Temura. And since pearl, in contrast to the items discussed in this teaching, the pearl is used in Matthew 13:45 to 46 for the supreme possession of the kingdom. And since Jesus elsewhere demands that his missionaries wipe the dust of their feet on communities that do not respond to the kingdom, we can safely say that the sacred and pearl refer to the gospel message. Okay. That is one of the ways of interpreting the item of pearl within the teachings. Now, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, following Luther's, assumed that our text is an admonition about the necessity to limit the time and energy directed toward the hard-hearted. Or, for example, you're having a Bible study, with a person, and 6 months you have been teaching him, there is little or no response, but that the person just wanted to have a to listen to the preaching in his home, again, which takes us into the latter discussions, wherein there is a wise man who built this house, upon the rock, and a foolish builder. And in this, Bonhoeffer, if I got his perception correctly, is that you should no longer waste time, for people who have already made up their minds, So the gospel goes out to all, but when it is not received, the proclaimers must move on. And Donald Dagner also agrees with this perception. Hmm. Very quick, pero again, we there are some ideas there, of course, we can learn from it. Pastor Gerald, meron kang gusto i-share pa?
Actually, gusto ko nga lang din sanang would like to react on this. Kasi the question probably that we can on that on that observation,
Opo.
just like what the scholar just said. Kasi the thing is, are we supposed to stop being compassionate to those kasi who continuously rejects the gospel, no?
Mm-hmm.
If the pearl and the holy whatever it is holy. I mean, this is parang this is so hard, no? I've actually been asking this then a long time ago. Now, when do you stop? When do you stop? Kasi probably we can determine, since what Jesus used here are dogs and then pigs, because we know that pigs would always return to the mud, no? Na yun yung description ng Proverbs sa atin, eh. Uh, but then going back to to do not judge. Kasi we're not always with that person. Alam mo yun, we really have to be involved to the person that Jesus Christ was telling here. So that's the difficult part, no? Pero this is more applicable to those to us, no, or to the Christians, or to those who are listening. Yung the last phrase, no, yung lest they trample them underfoot. And I don't know if we have to stop being compassionate with them and sharing the gospel continues to them. But then, probably in doing so, we have to be mindful about us being influenced, no? Kasi sabi nga dito, lest they trample them, the holy things and the pearl, and turn to attack you. So I'm actually looking at the connection about it na this is also a warning probably. Kasi ang yung turn to attack is actually a continuous action, and then yung trample is also is lest they trample you. It is ano naman, active naman, no, that they will keep on doing that. in the future, the possibility of doing that in the future. If you um, continue to give the holy things to those who keep on rejecting it. But then yun nga, ang tanong is where is the balance there? When do you stop being compassionate to these people?
I, I think yung compassion magpapatuloy. Pero with regards to giving what, kasi there is already a ano yan eh, I don't wanna call it a misunderstanding. A difference of perception, no? Kasi for us, for believers, we treat holy what is holy. But and then while we proclaim or in our proclamation of the gospel or doing Bible studies or evangelism, we are trying to inform them why we treat why we see that the gospel is sacred and for them. So but if if after we've spent a lot of time telling them about the sacredness of the perception and they still do not get it, di ba? So perhaps that is the time that we, of course, compassion is still there. We should not give up compassion. But with regards to spending time, for example nga, which in the later sections wherein Jesus sent the 12, no? I think that was chapter 10. And then, of course, there will be a lot of rejections, no? And in their culture, they are to shake the dust of their feet, showing a sort of because you rejected us, even the dust within our no feet also rejects you, so something like that. So um but compassion should continue, compassion should remain, but siguro we are looking at it from a practical sense, no, that there are also a lot of people needing to hear the gospel. So why confine our time, energy, and money, no, to a particular individual or maybe a peer group that is not really, there is no intention of really changing their lives, no? I've experienced kasi, di ba, ano no, yung since year 2000, I've been in the ministry and part of it, I had Bible studies that they said they do not want to attend the church services dahil ang dami nilang nakikita. So they invited me to their Bible study in their home. But so I remember we would be playing music from CDs pa, no, CD player, no, worship songs. But there is no initiative, no, from them that they will go back to the greater body. And I said, brother, ako I teach the Bible but I represent the greater group na ano, why ano, and so it didn't end up ano, no. I mean, I need to stop from ano, yung Bible study na yun kasi again there are a lot of people who would be more receptive, no, more receptive to the presentation of the gospel. And in that matter, I would rather go to that direction. And of course, God gives us the freedom, no, to see whether we are just spending too much time. But again, the compassion is still there. But we need to withhold, no? Di ba? Yung sa Ecclesiastes chapter 3, there's a time that we should embrace, but there's also a time we should withhold embrace. So something, I'm just trying to use the parallel, no? Kasi Kuya Lito, nag-open na ng camera eh. No, Tito, merong gustong i-share dito eh. Unmute po, unmute. Unmute po, unmute, unmute.
Hindi po kayo ayan pa, okay na.
Okay na po.
Opo.
Sariwang-sariwa lang din, mga pangyayari. Actually, itong 2024 po, kasi ginagauge namin, kasi meron kaming hinihit na mga target, may KPI po kami. Dapat at, alam ba, 2024, dapat makapag-reach out kami na uma-attend sa amin for the whole year, ganito, meron kami tinatarget na numbers. Halimbawa, ang tinatarget namin is 200. Dapat yun ang Sunday service attendees namin. Actually, hindi kami umabot ng gano'n. Nasa sa mga 160, mga ganun siya. Sabi ko, maglagay tayo ng para bang Sunday service ng hapon. Kasi 2 barangay po yung sineserve ko. Ang church ay naroon sa barangay Bigaa. Tapos yung mga taga-Butong nahihirapan, magkadikit lang na barangay, para pumunta doon sa Bigaa, malaki pa masaya, parang ganun-ganun. Sabi ko, ito ang gagawin natin yung estratehiya para maabot natin sila. Kukuha tayo ng lugar doon sa barangay Butong para pagdausan natin ng Sunday service. This is hapon nating gagawin yon. Kasi nakikita ko, pagdating ng December, September namin sinimulan yon, Pastor. Pagdating ng December, nakikita ko, aabutin natin ng 200. So, ginawa namin yon. Talagang may mga nasa sa kabilang barangay para sila ay maka-attend. So, nangyari, Pastor, pagdating noong December, nag-assess po ako. Ang nangyari, hindi na-meet kung ano po yung aking tawag dito, inaasahan para po doon. My connection is not good. So, ganun po ang nangyari. Sabi ko, Lord, bigyan mo pa ako ng 2 buwan. Kasi hindi pa rin ako susuko. Baka ito, this time, January, February, mahit na namin. Ang nangyari po, hindi ko na-hit din po yon. Ang nangyari, lalo pang bumaba. Ang ginawa ko po, yung pong aming Sunday service na ginagawa paghapon, ginawa ko pong home church or Bible study na lang. Pero ginawa ko po yun hindi na linggo, kundi Huwebes ko na ipinagawa sa kanila. Katulad na binabanggit ni Pastor. So yung malaking time, hindi na namin ibibigay doon dahil walang bunga. Masasayang lamang ang pagod, pero wala ka namang magiging bunga, apakahirap naman ng ganon. Kasi I'm looking for doon sa projected na ina-expect ko na magiging bunga ng aming ginawang move, pero wala Pero hindi ko po sila kinalimutan. Ang ipinalit ko po doon, Bible study. Huwebes na ginagawa, hindi Sunday. At katulad ng binabanggit mo, Pastor, mahalaga ang time. Meron pang ibang mga tao na kinakailangan na dapat na makarinig at dapat mapapunta sa church, magkaroon ng relasyon sa ating Panginoon. At doon kami nagko-concentrate ngayon. So another plan na naman. Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Pastor Lito, sa concrete na examples, no?
Hindi ko ma-mute. Hindi ko
Oh,
ma-mute.
super quick lang, Pastor, no? So,
Yes.
I think lang naman, if ever, siguro by that time, they, hindi sila nakikinig, no? By that situation, no? And someone needs your time for you to share the word of God. Then, personally, dun muna ako tatayuan. And, totoo naman po, hindi naman nawala yung passion. But, yun nga, titingin ko, baka by this time, they are not ready pa. But from time to time, you keep them updated. Thank you, Sri. Yeah. So, I just keep them updated lang. And, if there's a time na pwedeng kausapin ulit sila, na open na sila, then, kasama lang sila doon. Parang waiting list. Parang ganun sa ginagawa ko to. So, yun lang po.
Yes, thank you. So we'll take our break muna.